The relentless march of time often brings with it a creeping sense of decline that far too many men silently accept as an inevitable part of aging, a phenomenon frequently dismissed as simply getting old. But beneath that widely accepted veneer lies a far more intricate and often agonizing reality. Perhaps you've felt it, that gnawing sense of frustration, the palpable struggle when your body, once a reliable, powerful machine, simply doesn't respond with the same vigor and immediacy it once did. The simplest tasks can feel like monumental efforts, and the spontaneity of daily life seems to slowly erode, replaced by a subtle but persistent exhaustion. This isn't merely about occasional tiredness, it's a pervasive, invisible fatigue, a draining exhaustion that no amount of deep, restorative sleep seems capable of truly conquering. It leaves you sluggish, your thoughts clouded in a persistent fog, and a profound sense of disconnection from the vibrant, engaged life you once knew and relished. The impact extends far beyond the physical. Consider the intimate moments with your partner, which, instead of being a source of deep joy, connection, and uninhibited pleasure, become fraught with anxiety, tinged with a quiet shame, because your own body, inexplicably, seems to betray your most fundamental desires and intentions. This isn't just about feeling a little off, a momentary slump that a cup of coffee can fix. It's about a profound, almost existential shift in your very sense of self. A quiet, insidious erosion of the inherent strength, the boundless energy, and the unshakable confidence you've always prided yourself on. Qualities that have defined your masculinity, your presence, and your capability throughout your life. It's the unsettling sensation of waking up to a reflection that, while familiar, increasingly shows a stranger, someone who lacks the spark, the drive, and the sheer vitality that was once your hallmark. This silent struggle is often endured in isolation, men internalizing it as a personal failing rather than a widespread biological challenge, and in doing so, they miss the crucial insight that could utterly transform their experience of aging. What if I told you that this pervasive decline, this unwelcome and increasingly restrictive sense of aging, might not in fact be an unavoidable sentence, a predetermined fate etched into the very fabric of your later years? What if the true culprit isn't simply the inevitable accumulation of birthdays, the arbitrary number of years you've lived, but rather a subtle, yet profoundly impactful deficiency that is silently and relentlessly stripping you of your most fundamental vitality, energy, and zest for life? Your body, in its inherent remarkable wisdom, is an exquisitely complex system, and it might be desperately signaling a deep-seated need, a fundamental imbalance that, regrettably, goes largely unnoticed and unaddressed by conventional medical wisdom, often due to a focus on symptom management rather than root cause resolution. For over 3 profound decades, I, Dr. Mohit Kaur, have dedicated my entire professional life, my research, and my practice to the intricate nuances of men's health, tirelessly working to understand the unique challenges faced by men as they mature. Through this extensive experience, I've had the distinct privilege of helping countless men, many of whom are well over the age of 60, to not only reignite the spark they believed was permanently extinguished, but to discover a newfound, even more profound sense of well-being and capability. And what I've discovered through thousands of patient interactions, through reviewing countless cases and staying abreast of cutting-edge research, what many medical professionals, perhaps due to time constraints or a narrower focus, often overlook, is a powerful, undeniable truth. The real, sustainable solution to these age-related challenges often does not lie in a complex, ever-expanding array of pharmaceutical prescriptions, each with its own list of side effects, but in a simpler, more fundamental rebalancing of your body's most basic and essential building blocks. We're not talking about restoring desire, because that often remains remarkably intact, a testament to the enduring human spirit and connection. Instead, We're talking about the fundamental physiological elements, the robust, unobstructed flow of blood throughout your entire system, the sustained endurance that allows you to engage fully with life, and the delicate yet crucial balance of hormones that your body absolutely needs to truly thrive, to perform at its peak, and to allow you to experience life with unwavering confidence and energy once again. This isn't about magical cures or quick fixes. It's about providing your body with the elemental support it requires to heal, to regenerate, and to remember its inherent capacity for strength and vibrancy. Today, with the conviction born of 3 decades of clinical observation and patient success, I'm going to pull back the curtain on this often missed yet profoundly impactful secret. I will unveil 3 critical vitamins, not obscure compounds, but widely available, foundational nutrients that are absolutely essential for every man navigating the landscape beyond 60. I will reveal precisely how these specific vitamins can work synergistically and naturally to restore robust, confident erections, significantly and safely boost your testosterone levels back to a healthy range, and bring your energy roaring back to life, allowing you to reclaim the vitality that feels like a distant memory. But understanding the existence of these solutions, merely knowing their names and their general benefits, isn't sufficient for lasting change. There's a crucial, often dangerous mistake that far too many men unknowingly make when they attempt to incorporate these vital vitamins into their daily regimen. This common misstep, born of misinformation or simply an unawareness of critical details, can completely negate any potential benefits, turning hope into frustration and effort into futility. It's a pitfall that can leave you feeling even more disheartened, believing that nothing can truly help. Stay with me, remain engaged and open to this vital information, because in just a few moments, I'll show you exactly what this widespread mistake is, why it's so detrimental, and most importantly, precisely how you can avoid it, starting as early as tonight. This isn't just about the superficial act of adding more years to your life, extending a period of potential decline. It's about a far more profound and meaningful transformation. It's about strategically adding life back to your years, ensuring that you don't miss out on another precious moment of feeling fully present, profoundly capable, and powerfully in control of your own health and destiny. This is about reclaiming your rightful inheritance of vitality, re-engaging with the world, and embracing your later years, not as a period of diminishment, but as a renewed opportunity for strength, connection, and purpose. The journey through aging often ushers in a subtle yet profound shift, a quiet metamorphosis that impacts everything from physical stamina to a man's deeply ingrained confidence in the bedroom. I vividly recall my initial meeting with Paul, a distinguished 67-year-old gentleman whose sharp, inquisitive mind and thoughtful, composed demeanor belied a deep, quiet undercurrent of frustration and resignation. "Doc," he confessed, his voice barely above a whisper, the words heavy with unspoken sorrow, "I still possess the deep-seated desire to be intimately close with my wife, to nurture and enjoy that profound, irreplaceable connection that has defined our relationship for decades. But my body, frustratingly, just won't cooperate anymore. It's as if a vital, fundamental part of me, a core aspect of my being, has simply shut down, leaving me feeling impotent and inadequate." This poignant, heartfelt confession is not an isolated incident. It's one I have heard countless times over my decades in men's health, a pervasive, disheartening common thread among men who feel their very sense of masculinity, their intrinsic spark, subtly yet undeniably slipping away, taking with it a piece of their self-worth. And more often than not, the profound journey back to reclaiming that spark, that fundamental sense of vitality and robust performance, begins not with some radical, expensive pharmaceutical intervention or an intricate medical procedure, but with a single foundational nutrient that is incredibly simple in its nature, yet profoundly underestimated in its expansive physiological impact: vitamin D. For far too long, vitamin D has been pigeonholed, mistakenly categorized as merely the sunshine vitamin or relegated to being primarily a supplement for bone health in growing children. However, its true, multifaceted scope of influence, particularly in men over the age of 60, is far more expansive, critical, and deeply impactful than previously understood. This isn't just an accessory nutrient, a mere physiological embellishment. It's a foundational pillar of comprehensive male performance, acting as the very switch, the crucial biological catalyst that enables your delicate, intricate blood vessels to dilate and efficiently deliver life-giving, oxygen-rich blood throughout your entire body. Crucially, and with profound implications for well-being, this includes the sensitive, vital areas that directly underpin your sexual health, your intimate confidence, and your overall sense of masculine vigor. Without sufficient optimal levels of vitamin D, this intricate circulatory system, a masterpiece of biological engineering, begins to falter. The vital blood flow slows to a trickle, energy levels plummet inexplicably, and what was once a natural, effortless, and joyful part of life, spontaneous intimacy, enduring physical stamina, and an overall sense of vigor, becomes an uphill battle, fraught with difficulty, disappointment, and self-doubt. The ramifications ripple through every aspect of daily existence, diminishing not just the private moments, but the public presence, leaving a man feeling less robust, less dynamic, and less himself in every interaction and endeavor. Consider the truly staggering statistics, which underscore the silent epidemic of vitamin D deficiency. Over 40% of older adults are demonstrably deficient in this critical nutrient, a figure that is often much higher in colder climates or among those with darker skin tones who naturally produce less vitamin D from sunlight. These aren't men who are neglectful of their health. They are often active, health-conscious, individuals who eat reasonably well, yet still find themselves grappling with the perplexing, persistent question, why do I no longer feel like myself? Why has my vitality dwindled? The profound answer, often missed by routine checkups, frequently lies in vitamin D's direct indispensable impact on nitric oxide production, a master regulator of cardiovascular health. This vital molecule, nitric oxide, is absolutely indispensable for maintaining healthy blood flow, ensuring vasodilation, and, by direct extension, for facilitating robust, reliable sexual performance. Nitric oxide signals the smooth muscles in the arterial walls to relax, allowing blood vessels to widen and blood to flow more freely, which is a physiological prerequisite for achieving and maintaining firm erections. But the ramifications of vitamin D deficiency and the subsequent impairment of nitric oxide production extend far, far beyond the confines of the bedroom. A pervasive deficiency can manifest as a persistent, unyielding lack of stamina throughout the day, a constant mental fogginess that makes concentration difficult, and a noticeable, disheartening dip in overall confidence, dimming the very light, the inherent spark that once defined your presence and radiated from your being. The insidious nature of this deficiency is that its symptoms are often so generalized that they are simply attributed to getting old, masking the real, solvable problem. The good news, the truly remarkable and profoundly hopeful part, is that correcting this deficiency requires no complex medical procedures, no invasive interventions, and no exorbitant pharmaceutical costs. Incorporating just 15 to 20 minutes of consistent morning sunlight exposure, particularly when the sun's rays are less intense, increasing your intake of naturally rich vitamin D foods like wild-caught salmon, mackerel, tuna, or consuming fortified dairy products and plant-based milks, and critically, supplementing with a high-quality bioavailable vitamin D3 can radically and rapidly transform how your body functions at a fundamental cellular level. I've witnessed countless patients who were once too fatigued to complete a simple, leisurely walk around the block suddenly experience a dramatic surge of sustained energy, a profound, crystal-clear mental clarity, and a powerful, deeply felt reconnection with their partners, rekindling an intimacy they feared was lost forever. This isn't mere speculation, a hopeful hypothesis. It's fundamental human chemistry, backed by a growing body of scientific evidence, and it represents one of the most accessible, potent, and straightforward pathways to reclaiming your innate strength, your vibrant confidence, and your full capacity for life. Yet as powerful and transformative as vitamin D is in optimizing circulation, it's only one crucial piece of a larger, intricate puzzle, because even with impeccably optimized blood flow, your body still requires the sustained, unwavering energy to move with purpose, to endure through challenges, and to translate that improved circulation into dynamic, purposeful action. And that precisely is where our second vital nutrient, an often overlooked energy powerhouse, triumphantly enters the picture, ready to complete the next segment of your revitalized journey. The unseen, often silent battle against an insidious, pervasive fatigue is a narrative I've encountered countless times within the quiet confines of my practice, a relentless, unspoken struggle that can gradually diminish even the most resilient spirits, eroding their zeal for life. A few years ago, I met Robert, a distinguished 72-year-old retired firefighter, a man whose life had been defined by courage, physical endurance, and a deep commitment to service. He was also a proud, doting grandfather whose strong, experienced exterior and calloused hands, testaments to a life well lived, belied a deep-seated weariness that no amount of rest could assuage. He confided in me, his voice etched with a profound sense of bewilderment and frustration. "Doc, I'm doing everything by the book. I dutifully get my full 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep every single night. I meticulously plan and eat nourishing, balanced meals, and I even try to stay active with light walks. But despite all my diligent efforts, I still feel like I'm dragging myself through each and every day. My thoughts feel perpetually cloudy. My body aches with a pervasive, inexplicable tiredness. And when the opportunity arises to be close and intimate with my cherished wife, I simply don't have the energy, the internal spark, or the physical capacity within me to truly engage." Robert's poignant story resonated profoundly with me, not because it was unique or unusual, but because it was so alarmingly common, so frequently echoed by other men in similar circumstances, and most crucially, so often misdiagnosed or dismissed as an inevitable consequence of aging. What he was describing with such clarity and distress was a classic textbook presentation of vitamin B12 deficiency, a condition I've observed to be remarkably prevalent in an astonishing number of men over the age of 60. This unassuming yet utterly indispensable vitamin is nothing short of a biological powerhouse, absolutely critical for the very foundation of your body's complex energy production pathways. Without sufficient optimal levels of vitamin B12, your entire cellular system struggles to efficiently and effectively convert the food you consume into usable, readily available energy, irrespective of how meticulously you plan your diet, how nutrient-dense your meals are, or how many hours you dedicate to seeking restorative sleep. It's akin to having a meticulously engineered, high-performance automobile engine that's perfectly tuned but tragically running on an empty or severely contaminated fuel tank. No matter how well designed or capable it is, it simply cannot perform its intended function, leaving you stranded and exhausted. Beyond its paramount role in the intricate process of energy conversion, vitamin B12 is also indispensable for the vital formation of healthy, robust red blood cells. These microscopic marvels are the essential, tireless carriers of oxygen, delivering this life-sustaining force to every single muscle fiber, every neuron in your intricate brain, and yes, every crucial cell and tissue within your sexual organs, which depend heavily on oxygen for peak function. When these critical cells are insufficient in number or inefficient in their oxygen-carrying capacity, the ripple effect throughout your entire system is profound and debilitating. Everything slows down, a pervasive lethargy takes hold. Your physical stamina wanes dramatically, your mental focus, once sharp, blurs into a persistent, frustrating fog, and you may find yourself feeling increasingly disconnected from the very activities, hobbies, and cherished relationships that once brought you immense joy, purpose, and profound engagement. And here lies the insidious, often overlooked catch that makes this deficiency so prevalent among older men. As you gracefully age, as part of the natural biological process, your body's inherent intrinsic ability to absorb vitamin B12 from dietary sources naturally and progressively diminishes. This means that even if your diet is meticulously planned and objectively rich in B12-rich foods like lean meats, poultry, eggs, or fortified dairy products, it might still not be enough to meet your evolving critical metabolic needs. This is precisely why so many older men experience persistent, unexplained fatigue, a frustrating mental fogginess that impacts decision-making, or an inexplicable weakness, even when their routine blood tests and basic health markers appear perfectly normal on paper, giving a false sense of security. The solution, thankfully, can be remarkably straightforward, accessible, and profoundly impactful. Augmenting your B12 intake through high-quality bioavailable supplementation, preferably in the form of methylcobalamin, or in certain more severe cases, via physician-administered injections, can trigger a dramatic, almost instantaneous restoration of mental clarity, a powerful resurgence of physical stamina, and a profound return to that vibrant sense of being fully awake, engaged, and present with life. I have personally witnessed men transform from passively dozing off in the afternoon, feeling utterly drained, to actively hiking vigorous trails, genuinely laughing with newfound energy, and being completely enthusiastically present with their cherished loved ones, all thanks to correcting a deficiency they never even knew they harbored, believing it was just old age. Yet, abundant energy, while undeniably transformative and incredibly empowering, is still not the complete narrative of male vitality. Your body also requires robust protection, a fortifying shield that actively strengthens delicate blood vessels, diligently reduces systemic inflammation, and comprehensively supports the intricate, finely tuned hormonal balance that defines masculine health and performance. And it is precisely here, at this crucial juncture, that our third essential vitamin confidently steps forward, ready to complete the comprehensive picture of holistic male vitality, ensuring longevity and sustained vigor. The journey through aging can sometimes bring with it a perplexing sense of confusion, even for men who diligently prioritize their health and make conscious efforts to maintain their well-being. I distinctly recall my illuminating conversation with James, a distinguished 70-year-old retired pilot, a man whose meticulous nature and attention to detail had defined his professional life. His frustration was palpable, a quiet storm beneath a calm exterior. "Doc," he explained, his voice conveying a deep sense of bewilderment, "I maintain a healthy, balanced diet. I engage in regular, moderate exercise, and I genuinely feel like I'm doing everything absolutely right, following all the conventional advice. But lately, something just feels off. My drive, my intrinsic motivation and ambition is noticeably down. I'm not recovering the way I used to after even mild exertion, and quite honestly, I just don't feel like a man anymore, in the fullest sense of the word." James was not a man who indulged in carelessness, apathy, or laziness. He was disciplined, proud of his achievements, and deeply committed to his ongoing well-being. Yet despite his best efforts, he was missing a crucial, foundational piece of the complex puzzle of male vitality, a nutrient so often overlooked, so frequently underestimated, that even many medical professionals rarely discuss its profound, far-reaching impact on men's health: vitamin E. Often misconstrued and mistakenly pigeonholed as merely a fertility aid exclusively for women or a simple topical skin supplement to improve complexion, vitamin E is, in truth, an absolute powerhouse when it comes to comprehensively supporting men's health, particularly as we navigate the unique physiological landscape beyond the age of 60. This remarkable, multifaceted vitamin functions primarily as a potent natural antioxidant, a diligent, tireless warrior that actively seeks out and combats the insidious, damaging forces of oxidative stress and chronic inflammation. These silent aggressors, often unseen and unfelt until their cumulative damage is significant. Relentlessly attack and damage your delicate blood vessels, disrupt your intricate hormonal balance, and even impact the cellular integrity and function of your reproductive organs as the years steadily pass. When this internal inflammation is allowed to build unchecked, creating a subtle but destructive cellular environment, the negative consequences cascade throughout your entire system. Blood flow falters, becoming less efficient and robust. Testosterone levels steadily and inexplicably dip, leading to a host of debilitating symptoms, and your overall energy crashes, leaving you feeling profoundly depleted. It's not a sudden dramatic collapse, a catastrophic failure, but rather a slow, relentless erosion, a quiet, almost imperceptible loss of the competitive edge, the vital spark that men like James gradually experience without ever fully understanding the underlying physiological reasons why their vitality is dwindling. What truly elevates vitamin E to such a critical, indispensable importance for male health is its unparalleled, unique ability to maintain the crucial flexibility, elasticity, and structural integrity of your blood vessel walls, thereby ensuring robust, consistent, and unimpeded circulation throughout your entire body. Healthy, firm, and reliable erections are fundamentally, at their core, a testament to optimal, unimpeded blood flow. When this vital, life-giving stream cannot reach where it's needed most, with the necessary pressure and volume, sexual performance inevitably suffers, leading to profound frustration, self-doubt, and a damaging erosion of confidence. But vitamin E's profound influence extends even further, touching upon another cornerstone of male vitality. It plays a pivotal, often underestimated role in empowering your body to produce testosterone more efficiently and effectively, a hormonal function that becomes increasingly critical and challenging after the age of 60, when natural production tends to decline. Low testosterone isn't merely a concern for the bedroom, an isolated issue. Its pervasive, far-reaching effects ripple through every single aspect of your life, impacting your mood, diminishing your intrinsic motivation and drive, eroding your mental clarity, and subtly undermining your very sense of purpose and masculine identity. The truly encouraging news, the profound message of hope, is that restoring optimal vitamin E levels is both remarkably simple and eminently achievable through natural, readily available means. Nutrient-rich dietary sources like raw almonds, nutrient-dense sunflower seeds, and high-quality cold-pressed olive oil are excellent, delicious dietary contributors. Additionally, leafy greens such as vibrant spinach or nutrient-packed Swiss chard provide valuable amounts of this essential vitamin. When dietary intake alone proves insufficient to bridge the nutritional gaps that often emerge with age, a high-quality natural vitamin E supplement, ideally containing a mixed tocopherol and tocotrienol complex for comprehensive benefits, can effectively and safely bridge these nutritional deficiencies. I've had the profound satisfaction of seeing men like James return to my clinic mere months later, radiating a renewed sense of vigor, their smiles genuine and unforced, reporting feeling sharper mentally, physically stronger, and most importantly, more deeply connected to the life they had truly feared was irrevocably slipping away from them. This transformation is not a placebo effect. It is the predictable, powerful outcome of providing the body with the foundational nutrients it desperately needs to repair, regenerate, and thrive. Now you might be asking yourself a very natural and insightful question. What happens when we strategically bring these three powerful vitamins, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and vitamin E, together in a harmonious regimen? Is there a synergistic effect that amplifies their individual, already impressive benefits, creating something even greater than the sum of their parts? The answer, unequivocally and emphatically, is yes. In fact, when utilized correctly, with awareness and precision, these essential nutrients can create a transformative ripple effect that revitalizes not just your energy levels or your sexual performance in isolation, but your entire holistic experience of aging, turning decline into dynamic renewal. Let's now explore the profound compounding power of this intelligently combined synergistic approach. The true magic of biological restoration often unfolds not in isolation, through single independent interventions, but through powerful intelligent synergy, a profound phenomenon where the combined integrated effect of multiple elements far surpasses the mere sum of their individual parts. Years ago, I witnessed this powerful principle firsthand with a remarkable patient named Walter, a robust 68-year-old retired high school coach who had always prided himself on his unwavering activity levels, his robust health, and his remarkably sharp mental acuity. When his vitality began to wane, he had initially started taking a vitamin D supplement, later wisely incorporating vitamin B12, when a pervasive, inexplicable tiredness began to set in and refused to dissipate. Then, after learning of its crucial importance for male hormonal balance and cardiovascular health, he thoughtfully added vitamin E to specifically support his natural testosterone production and improve his recovery. Each individual supplement in its own right offered some degree of relief, a flicker of improvement, a momentary reprieve from his symptoms. But it wasn't until Walter began taking all three consistently, diligently, and critically in the correct bioavailable forms and optimal physician-recommended dosages that something truly transformative, something almost miraculous, profoundly clicked into place within his entire system. I'll never forget him walking into my office one crisp afternoon, a broad, genuine grin stretching across his face, his eyes sparkling with renewed energy, exclaiming with unbridled enthusiasm, "Doc, I don't know what you did, what precise combination you unlocked, but I feel like I've been given a brand new engine, completely rebuilt and purring like a kitten. My energy is soaring, my mind is clearer than it's been in years, and I feel a connection to my wife that I thought was long gone." That precisely is the profound, undeniable power of synergy in action. These three vital vitamins are not merely independent actors performing their roles in isolation. They are intricately vital partners, each meticulously supporting, enhancing, and dramatically amplifying the efficacy of the others, creating a powerful, self-reinforcing cycle of revitalization. Consider this carefully, as the mechanics are elegant in their simplicity and profound in their impact. Vitamin D lays the essential groundwork by significantly and fundamentally improving your systemic circulation, primarily by boosting the crucial production of nitric oxide, which acts as a master vasodilator, helping your blood vessels expand, relax, and function optimally, ensuring blood flows freely. Then, vitamin B12 expertly steps in, dramatically increasing the production of robust, healthy red blood cells, which are the essential tireless vehicles meticulously carrying life-giving oxygen through that now improved, wider, and more efficient circulatory network, ensuring every cell and tissue is adequately nourished. Finally, vitamin E acts as the ultimate guardian, diligently protecting and nourishing those very delicate blood vessels that transport everything, the oxygen, the nutrients, the hormones, while simultaneously playing a crucial direct role in regulating the optimal production and balance of testosterone levels, the very hormone that fuels your energy, your intrinsic drive, your mood, and your overall masculine vitality. While each of these nutrients plays a critical, beneficial, and indispensable role on its own, their combined, integrated force, when applied intelligently, creates what I affectionately refer to as the vitality triangle. A harmonious, self-sustaining integration of optimized, robust circulation, sustained, unwavering energy throughout the day, and meticulously balanced, healthy hormonal support. This synergistic approach becomes especially crucial and impactful as you gracefully age, because your body simply doesn't possess the same innate resilience, the same robust recovery capabilities, or the same efficient nutrient absorption mechanisms it once did in its younger years. Nutrient absorption from the gut tends to slow and become less efficient. Systemic inflammation can silently accumulate and wreak havoc, and recovery from even minor exertions or stressors takes considerably longer. In this delicate, intricate biological balance, one missing piece, one overlooked deficiency can throw your entire system off kilter, creating a detrimental domino effect of decline and diminishing returns. However, when you strategically bring these three essential vitamins together in proper physiological balance and consistent, dedicated application, your body initiates a remarkable process of remembering how it used to feel, how it was designed to perform at its peak. You may find yourself waking up genuinely rested, feeling refreshed and invigorated, your thoughts clearer and more focused than they have been in years, and your physical and even emotional responses quicker, more robust, and more reliable when it truly counts, whether in the boardroom, on the golf course, or in the intimacy of your relationship. A powerful, quiet sense of confidence, perhaps long dormant or subtly eroded, begins to re-emerge. An authentic feeling of capability and self-assurance that no prescription medication can ever truly manufacture or replicate. Walter's experience was not an anomaly. I have personally witnessed this same profound, life-altering transformation in countless men who embrace these foundational nutrients seriously, making them an integral, non-negotiable part of their daily routine, a commitment to their enduring vitality. Yet, tragically, despite the simplicity and profound efficacy of this approach, most men never get to fully experience these life-changing benefits. Why? Because they are unknowingly making a common, yet critical and fundamentally self-defeating mistake that effectively cancels out the very progress and profound improvements they are striving so hard to achieve. If you're not careful, if you're not discerning, you might be unwittingly falling into this widespread trap yourself, negating your own efforts. Let's confront this prevalent, yet easily avoidable error, and more importantly, discover precisely how to rectify it, starting today, ensuring your efforts yield the powerful results you deserve. One crisp, late autumn morning, a man named Gerald, a thoughtful, clearly well-read, and impeccably dressed 74-year-old gentleman, walked into my office. In his hand, he clutched a rather deflated plastic grocery bag brimming with an assortment of supplement bottles, their labels colorful but their contents, as I would soon discover, far less impressive. He spread them out across my desk with a sigh that spoke volumes of his profound disappointment and deep-seated weariness. "Doc," he began, his voice tinged with resignation and a hint of suppressed frustration. "I've been diligently taking all of these for months now, meticulously following the instructions on each bottle. But honestly, despite all my efforts, I still feel constantly exhausted. My mind is perpetually foggy, and nothing, absolutely nothing, seems to be improving down there, if you catch my meaning." The profound weariness in his voice was heart-wrenching to witness, and it's a familiar lament, a quiet cry for help that I've heard far too many times before from men just like him. The single most significant, yet tragically common, mistake men make, especially those over the age of 60, is the dangerous, often costly assumption that simply taking a supplement, any supplement, is enough to trigger the profound physiological changes they desire. They often, understandably, gravitate towards cheap, readily available synthetic versions found in discount stores, bargain bins, or purchased online from unverified sources, operating under the deeply ingrained yet utterly false misconception that all vitamins are created equal, that a vitamin is a vitamin regardless of its source or form. But this notion, this dangerous generalization, could not be further from the scientific truth, profoundly impacting the effectiveness of their efforts. The true efficacy of a vitamin, its ability to fundamentally transform your health, hinges entirely on multiple crucial factors: its specific molecular form, its inherent quality, its purity, and the precise, physiologically appropriate dosage. These critical factors collectively determine whether your body can actually absorb, assimilate, and effectively utilize the nutrient at a cellular level, or if it simply passes harmlessly, yet expensively, through your digestive system, flushed away as an expensive waste of effort and precious resources. Take vitamin B12, for instance, a prime example of this critical distinction. A vast majority of generic, mass-produced brands readily available on store shelves utilize a synthetic form called cyanocobalamin, which, for many older men whose digestive systems and metabolic pathways are naturally less efficient, the body struggles to properly convert into an active, usable, and truly beneficial state. What your body truly needs, what it can readily put to work to generate energy and produce red blood cells, is methylcobalamin, the active bioavailable form that bypasses the need for complex conversion. The exact same principle of bioavailability applies with equal force to vitamin D. While vitamin D2 is often a cheaper, more widely distributed option, it is demonstrably far less effective and significantly less bioavailable, meaning your body absorbs and utilizes it poorly compared to the superior vitamin D3, which is the form naturally produced by your skin in response to sunlight. And with vitamin E, the distinction is even more nuanced and critical. Synthetic forms often lack the complete spectrum of beneficial compounds, the various tocopherols and tocotrienols your body requires to robustly support both healthy testosterone production, effective antioxidant protection, and optimal, flexible circulation. It's not just vitamin E, it's the right kind of vitamin E. Beyond the crucial aspect of quality and form, there's another equally detrimental mistake that undermines the efforts of countless men: inconsistency. Taking a vitamin sporadically, perhaps once or twice a week when you happen to remember, or only when you feel particularly fatigued, is simply not going to catalyze lasting, meaningful, and transformative change. Your body is an incredibly finely tuned, complex instrument, a biological masterpiece that thrives on rhythm, regularity, and consistent, unwavering support. It demands steady, unwavering input to effectively rebuild depleted energy reserves, restore optimal, robust blood flow, and meticulously balance delicate hormones over time. This isn't about chasing an elusive, instantaneous quick fix or a magical pill that solves everything overnight. It's about diligently building a consistent, daily foundation for your comprehensive health, a long-term commitment that yields exponential returns. When Gerald, following my specific guidance, finally made the critical switch to higher quality, truly bioavailable forms of these 3 essential vitamins, and committed himself to taking them consistently, without fail, as an integral part of his daily routine, the transformation was nothing short of dramatic and profoundly uplifting. Within a single month, he reported sleeping more deeply and soundly than he had in years, waking up with an unprecedented surge of energy and mental clarity, and, in his own joyous words, feeling like a man again, reclaiming his intrinsic strength and confidence. That profound, life-altering change wasn't achieved through simply trying harder, through more effort applied incorrectly. It came from diligently doing it right, with precision and understanding. Now that you understand what truly works, why it works, and what critical pitfalls to assiduously avoid, the next logical, empowering step is to seamlessly integrate this vital knowledge into the living fabric of your daily life. You might be wondering, how do I actually make this a smooth, effortless part of my day without it becoming complicated, burdensome, or overwhelming? That is precisely what we will address next. A simple, realistic, and highly effective daily routine that any man, regardless of his current lifestyle or commitments, can effortlessly follow to significantly amplify his energy, enhance his performance in every aspect of life, and sustain his renewed vitality every single day. It's time to construct your personalized, actionable plan for enduring vigor and profound well-being. In my extensive years of working closely, empathetically, and comprehensively with men navigating the later, often challenging stages of life, one question invariably emerges, voiced with a poignant mixture of hope, apprehension, and a deep-seated longing for authentic guidance. Doc, just tell me what to do, concretely, each day. I don't need anything complicated, nothing that requires immense effort or constant tracking. I simply need something that genuinely works, that delivers tangible results, and, most importantly, something that I can realistically stick to consistently over time. This is a request that I deeply respect and understand, because at this juncture in life, most men aren't seeking fleeting fads, temporary fixes, or empty gimmicks designed to extract their money without delivering true value. They crave consistency, elegant simplicity, and a clear, actionable plan that will genuinely help them reconnect with their inner strength, their innate vitality, and their authentic self. Let me share the inspiring story of Frank, a resilient, 66-year-old former carpenter, a man who had built a lifetime of sturdy structures with his own hands, but who came to me after enduring months of debilitating low-energy, restless, unrefreshing nights and a quietly, almost imperceptibly eroding confidence in his intimate life. He felt as though the very tools of his personal vitality were rusting, unused and neglected. We didn't embark on a radical, disruptive overhaul of his entire existence, a demanding regimen that would be unsustainable. Instead, we collaboratively constructed a foundational yet incredibly powerful daily routine meticulously built around the very 3 essential vitamins we've been discussing, leveraging their synergistic power. And the results, I assure you, were absolutely transformative, not just for Frank, but for his entire family. Each morning, Frank would commence his day with a generous, invigorating glass of pure water, immediately followed by his carefully selected, high-quality vitamin B12 supplement, always taken alongside a protein-rich breakfast to optimize absorption and fuel his day from the outset. After thoroughly enjoying his nourishing meal, he made it a non-negotiable, joyful habit to take a brief, invigorating walk outdoors, just 15 minutes of direct, unfiltered sunlight exposure to naturally stimulate his body's crucial vitamin D production, a simple act that grounded him and connected him to the natural world. On those inevitably overcast days, or during the darker, shorter winter months when direct sunlight was scarce, he simply swapped his sunwalk for a high-quality, bioavailable vitamin D3 supplement, diligently taken concurrently with his first meal to aid absorption with dietary fats. To ensure his optimal vitamin E intake, he intelligently integrated a small handful of nutrient-dense almonds or sunflower seeds into his mid-morning routine. A healthy, satisfying snack and a mindful drizzle of high-quality olive oil over his lunchtime salad provided another excellent, readily available source of this protective antioxidant. That, remarkably, was the entirety of his revitalizing routine. No extreme measures, no intricate time-consuming calculations, no overwhelming list of dietary restrictions, just a series of small, deliberate, intelligently chosen choices woven seamlessly and effortlessly into the existing fabric of his day, becoming second nature. Within a mere few weeks, Frank, his voice now vibrant, enthusiastic, and brimming with newfound energy, reported a significant, palpable surge in his overall energy levels, enabling him to engage more playfully, more actively, and more joyously with his cherished grandchildren, kicking a soccer ball or building sandcastles without feeling utterly depleted. He noticed a renewed and genuine interest in being close and intimately connected with his wife, rekindling a spark that had dimmed but never truly died. And most profoundly, he experienced a powerful resurgence of the quiet, unwavering confidence that had gradually, almost imperceptibly, slipped away over the years, leaving him feeling diminished. He truly felt like himself again, not a magically younger version, not a return to his 20s, but a distinctly stronger, a more grounded, a more mentally acute, and a profoundly more connected iteration of the capable, vibrant man he was always meant to be, fully present and engaged in his third act of life. The profound truth, the liberating realization, is that you don't need a daunting collection of a dozen different pills or an impossibly complicated, demanding regimen to reclaim your inherent vitality. What you genuinely need, what your body truly responds to, is a steady, consistent rhythm, the right essential nutrients delivered in their most bioavailable, absorbable forms, and, crucially, a powerful mindset that firmly declares, unequivocally, I am still in control of my health, my energy, and my future. Because without a shadow of a doubt, you absolutely are. If you've journeyed with me this far, absorbing these insights and considering their implications for your own life, I want to take a moment to connect with you, not simply as a doctor dispensing information, but as a man who has had the distinct privilege of sitting across from countless men just like you over the past 30 years. Men who have lived full, rich, often challenging lives. Men who have worked tirelessly, raised families, navigated careers, and built enduring legacies. Men who now, in this later, often reflective chapter of their lives, find themselves wrestling with that profound, often unsettling, and deeply personal question. Why doesn't my body feel like it used to? Why have I lost that intrinsic spark? That question, let me assure you, is not a sign of weakness, not an admission of defeat. It is, in fact, a powerful testament to your enduring spirit, your innate resilience, and your unwavering desire for quality of life. It's a clear, undeniable indication that you are still fighting, still yearning for the strength, the boundless energy, and the deep, meaningful connection that makes life truly feel purposeful, vibrant, and profoundly alive. And for that unwavering spirit, that intrinsic drive, I harbor the deepest respect and admiration. We've illuminated the critical, foundational roles of 3 essential pillars of male vitality, revealing their individual and synergistic power. First, vitamin D, the indispensable circulation spark plug that diligently helps open your blood vessels, improving elasticity and restoring vital, robust blood flow precisely where it matters most for both physical stamina and confident, satisfying, intimate performance. Then there's vitamin B12, the dynamic energy generator, a metabolic powerhouse that meticulously fuels your brain with clarity, empowers your muscles with endurance, and sustains your stamina throughout the entire day, banishing that pervasive, inexplicable fatigue. And finally, vitamin E, the potent fertility defender and cellular protector that actively combats oxidative stress, fortifies your cardiovascular health, provides crucial support for balanced testosterone levels, and ensures your entire intricate system operates with the optimal efficiency, protection, and regenerative capacity it so richly deserves. Yet, the true transformative power, the profound, life-altering impact, doesn't merely come from intellectually knowing their names or academically understanding their physiological functions. It emanates powerfully and predictably from the deliberate, consistent, and intentional act of integrating these foundational nutrients in their correct, bioavailable forms into the living, breathing fabric of your daily life, making them an unwavering commitment to your well-being. The undeniable, empirically proven truth is that these nutrients don't just provide physical, mechanistic support to your body. They profoundly nourish your very identity, your sense of self, and your psychological well-being. They fortify your intrinsic sense of confidence, enhance your vital, engaging presence in your most cherished relationships, whether with a spouse, children, or grandchildren, and, most importantly, they empower your profound ability to wake up each day feeling authentically and vibrantly like yourself again, connected, capable, and full of purpose. I have personally witnessed these profound, almost miraculous transformations too many times to ever harbor a shadow of doubt about their efficacy and impact. I have watched men who were absolutely convinced their best years, their most vibrant moments were firmly behind them, relegated to distant memories, discover a powerful, exhilarating second wind, a potent resurgence of vitality that utterly changed their entire perspective, their daily experience of life, and their future outlook. So, what now? The next step, my friend, is entirely and empowering up to you. You have absorbed this vital, life-changing information today, and you can choose to let it simply reside on a mental shelf, a collection of interesting facts to ponder, or you can choose, right here and now, in this moment of profound decision, to boldly, intentionally act on it. You can make the conscious, empowering decision to give your body precisely what it has been quietly, yet desperately asking for, signaling for, through those feelings of fatigue, fogginess, and diminished performance. You can choose to embrace that morning walk as a sacred ritual of self-care, to mindfully take that high-quality supplement with genuine intention and belief, and to say an emphatic, resounding yes to your enduring health, to your vibrant future, and to the renewed sense of purpose that still awaits you. Because here is what I know, without a shadow of a doubt, from decades of experience and countless success stories. It is not too late, not even close. you still possess the invaluable time, the inherent capacity, and the profound opportunity to feel dramatically stronger, to reconnect with your deepest purpose and passion, and to truly be the man you know, deep down in your soul, you are, fully, boldly, authentically, and without apology. You have already taken the crucial first step by simply showing up, by being present, and by listening with an open mind. Now it is time, unequivocally, to take the next transformative one.